Have you ever wondered what it's going to be like when you lose over 70 pounds? Well, in this episode, I have a special guest that we're bringing to the stage to share her journey with you. Hello, bold, brave, and brilliant gentlemen and ladies. It's so wonderful to have you here for another Zepbound journey with Ange. I'm Angela Durant. My friends call me Ange. And in this episode, we are doing an interview. I'm super excited to introduce you to someone who has a huge YouTube following. She has over 9,200 subscribers on her channel. She's been on this journey for a while, so she can bring some knowledge to us for those of you who are just starting, or for those of you who've been on the journey for a while too, but need a few tips or tweaks to get yourself to the point that you really want to get to. She's still on the journey, but she's lost over 70 pounds. And so without further ado, I want to introduce you to Twaun, and her channel is Traces of Twaun's Life. Traces of Twaun's Life. So let me bring her to the stage. And please put in the comments, give her a warm welcome, whether you're watching it live or you're watching on the replay, give her a warm welcome when you see it. So welcome, Tuan. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome. I am so delighted to be here.
Yes, I've been a fan of your work. and been following you. You're so inspiring. You bring one of my subscribers. Her name is Stephanie. Told me about you. She's like, "Oh, you got to check her out. You got to check out her channel. She is pure sunshine. So check her out." So I wanted to. I'm glad that you said yes, and I'm happy that you're here. And please take a minute to introduce yourself properly to our audience.
Hi, everyone. This is Tuan. That's how I always start my videos. So I am Tuan. I go by Traces of Twaun's Life. So on my channel, you guys, you get a little bit of everything that I want to share in my life. I don't just share just weight loss things. Honestly, when I started my channel by sharing my home being built. I started off with that, decorating my house, showing a little shopping here and there. And it just transitioned into me wanting to share my weight loss journey.
Because it's your life, right? You're sharing your life.
I'm sharing a little bit of everything.
Fantastic. So give us your stats. Tell us a little bit about, your highest weight, how tall you are. What does that look like?
Okay, so I am 5'4". I started off at 394.4. So I was 394.4 pounds when I started Wegovy.
Okay. And do you want to share with them how much you lost so far? Well, we know you lost 70 pounds, but can you share like how quickly you lost it? What was the journey like on Zepbound?
On Wegovy.
On Wegovy. I'm trying to put everybody on Zepbound, right?
Yeah. So for me, the journey has been a great journey. I cannot complain at all. I've had a great run so far with Wegovy. When I started Wegovy, a coworker of mine, she and I was having a conversation because I work from home and I go into the facility every now and then. And so I noticed on camera when we would have team meetings that she looked like she was getting a little thin, but you really only see a person from their, waist up when you're on team meetings. So I had to go into the facility, and when I saw her, I was like, wow, you've lost a lot of weight. What's going on? And during this time, I was doing intermittent fasting. And I had just dropped about like 11 pounds doing intermittent fasting. And then as soon as I stopped, boom, the 11 pounds, came right back on. So I was sharing it with her, and she said, oh, well, I go to this physician, and she put me on this injection pen, Manjaro, and she was explaining everything to me. And I was like, I don't know if I want to be injecting myself, this type of thing. And I have always been a person who have shied away from medicine. I really don't like to take medicine. I really don't. but I know I needed to do something. So I said,
Mhm.
let me start researching. So I
Mhm.
researched it for probably a good month, watching different videos. And then finally I asked her if she didn't mind sharing with me who her physician was, because I did see a lot of people saying they had a hard time getting it because some physicians would approve it and some would say, no, you need to try,
Mhm.
first, that
Mhm.
type of thing. So she did. She let me know who her physician was. And I made an appointment, and the physician told me, I cannot put you on that because you're not a diabetic. Because my primary care had sent over, my labs and all that stuff. And she said, but what I can put you on is Wegovy.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay. And she gave me a box right then in her office.
Oh, she had it right there?
She had it right then. She had the 0.25
Mhm.
milligrams already that the pharmaceutical company gave her, to
Mhm.
give people for a trial, just to try it and see if they want
Oh,
to do it.
oh my goodness.
I really got scared. If you go watch my first video, you will see I was nervous. I was so scared. I actually did it in my video to show people when I actually did the injection.
Oh,
I was
okay.
really nervous. I was shaking. I was scared. I was really afraid because I was like, oh my God, a needle. Am I
Let's
really
pause
doing
there.
this?
Wait, let's pause there for a second because I know that there are a lot of people when we're talking about this medication. For those of you who are not on the medication yet, but you're researching it, you're trying to learn about it, but the idea of injecting yourself with a needle is scary.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I always say it's not what you think. It's not that bad. But can you tell us a little bit about your experience with it, because you were scared and then you did it, and so tell.
Right. So when I came home, it was on a Wednesday. Um, I came home and I prayed about it, and I was supposed to start Saturday. She told me, don't do it until Saturday because I don't want you to get sick, trying to work. Most people have a better experience, if they use it on the weekend. That way, if they get sick, they nauseated, whatever, need to lay down, they're home already and at work. So, you have a better chance of recovering before
Mhm.
Monday and you start working. But I prayed about it, and after I finished praying, I just said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do this. Let me just get it on out of the way.
Mhm.
Well, wait, I already have it here in my possession. Let me just go ahead and just do this. Let's just do it.
Mhm.
So I did it. And
You
I was
did
I
it.
was scared, but I did it. And when I did it, I was like, that's it.
Right. That's right.
That's
That's
all
right.
it was.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I can honestly say the injection pen is totally different from Zepbound. Because I noticed some of the people who use Zepbound, they always seem to have a little blood that come out of it.
Mhm.
But we don't
Mhm.
have that with Wegovy. We
Mhm.
don't get the,
With
I
Wegovy,
don't know.
do you screw on the needle?
No,
Okay, the needle's already on it.
it's already on it. All
Okay.
you do is take the cap off,
Mhm.
put it to your skin,
Mhm.
press down. You hear one click.
Mhm.
I'm going to put a plug in. When you hear that second click, that means all the medication has went in of your
Mhm.
skin. Hold it there 10 seconds. Do
Mhm.
not release. Because if you do, you're going to leak some medicine. That
Uh,
happened to me not on my first injection, but a few injections in.
mhm.
And when it happened, I called my sister. My sister worked for a local hospital in another city, and she's actually on Wegovy. Well, she's not on it now, but she was on Wegovy as well. She lost weight.
Mhm.
She told me that has happened to some of the nurses that work with her, and they would call in to get another box. They actually
Mhm.
get another box, not just the one pen. So
Mhm.
I did. I called them, and I actually have a video up where I actually did the recording. I recorded when I did.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they gave me. They sent me an email, and I took the form that they sent me to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy actually gave me a new box, not just one.
Oh. Oh.
Mhm.
Oh.
And so I called my doctor right away to let her know what had happened,
Mhm.
and she told me go ahead and just take another pen. She said it's perfectly fine
Oh.
to get all the medication in you. You may have got some in you, but not enough.
Not
So
enough.
take another one. So I right away
Mm.
I went ahead and took another one instantly.
Okay, so all of you, when you're injecting yourselves, make sure you hold. You're gonna hear the clicks, and then count to 10 or 12 right after that, and then remove it to make
Then
sure you
remove
have
it.
it. But yes, when I prick, it pricks my skin. There is a tiny dot of blood there, and that's how I know it went in. Because otherwise, I don't feel anything. It's so
Yeah.
like I feel nothing. And a friend of mine who was on Manjaro told me to sit the medicine out like 30 minutes before you take it. She said that I guess when people take it cold, it can burn going in. But I've never had that experience. I've taken it cold before, but I just sit it out anyway as I'm taking. You know, I'll go take my shower and come back, and then I'll take it.
Yeah, I haven't experienced that either.
Mhm.
Don't feel
Right.
anything.
But yeah, after they hear those clicks, keep it in position, count to 10, and then remove it. And to make sure they get all the medication in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I want to show them a picture of you of some, like, this is actually not even as drastic as where you are now, but
Right, right.
it is a part on your journey. So I'm going to show this. And can you tell us a little bit about these pictures that we're looking at?
Yes. So on 2/23, this was the day that February, actually February 23rd of 2023
Mm-hmm.
was the first day of my first injection. And
Okay.
so what I did was I went and I put on this workout outfit that I have here in the picture. I
Mm-hmm.
had put that on to take a picture because my plan was to put it back on again to see where I was and how I appear,
Mm-hmm.
in 1 year. So
Mm-hmm.
I did. So on the 23rd of February, I'm sorry, that's my daughter
That's
calling.
okay. No worries. No worries.
So on the 23rd of February of this year, I went and put it back on.
Mm-hmm.
I took a side by side picture again. I did like 4 different poses.
Mm-hmm.
I just shared just this first pose with you, just so I can
Right.
see where I was, and I also shared this on my different social media platforms as well. I shared with my doctor, so she
Mm-hmm.
can see exactly where I was, and the reason I did that um,
Mm-hmm.
was because I know from time to time, sometimes we look at ourselves and we may feel like, oh, did I really lose weight? And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just don't feel like you lost the weight.
Mm-hmm.
But pictures really show you. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to have a visual as
Right.
well of my journey and what I look like so that I can share it. Because from time to time, we set a goal that, okay, I want to lose 100 pounds in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And those are not realistic goals.
Right.
It's just really not. So, I mean, it can happen. I'm not saying it won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Some people it happens for them, but realistically, it doesn't happen like that. So, you want to have something that you can actually look at that'll make you smile and say, wow, look at you.
Mm-hmm.
You did that.
So this was about a year. This
A
took
whole
you
year.
a
Mhm.
year, and you're down 50. In this picture, you're down 55.6 pounds,
Mhm.
right? Almost 56
55.6.
pounds.
Mhm.
Yep. And you can see it in your face, your neck, your bust line, your
Mhm.
belly,
Mhm.
right? So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's like slow and steady wins the race. Of course, I want.
And that is what I share all the time with my community. Slow and steady. I want to lose it slow and steady because if you lose it slow and steady, you learn. When you do it so fast, you don't learn anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me just share this as well. Although I had lost 55.6 pounds, I could have, well, I really lost more. But
So
I had some challenging experiences on my journey, which a lot of us do, which
mhm.
caused me to gain and then had to turn around and lose it back. So
Mhm.
on that journey, there were about 19 pounds that I had to lose back
Oh,
total within
wow.
that
Okay.
year.
Mhm.
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 Yeah, and
So
I think the highest amount that I had to lose at one time was about like 8.5 pounds.
mhm.
Yeah, my mother-in-law was living with us, and we went and got her from another state to bring her here, and we helped care for her until she transitioned. So
Mhm.
that was a struggle for us. I
Right.
was very tired, wasn't sleeping at night, wasn't getting out walking and stuff because we were up all night with her, with her dementia, and it was just a lot. And it was a lot for me to try to maintain tracking my foods, exercising, working,
Mhm.
plus taking care of, an elderly family member. It was a
Right.
lot on me and my husband, getting up
Mhm.
all through the night, not being able to sleep. It was a lot, but
Mhm.
I pressed through,
Right.
and
And
I
that's a good point, Twan, because that, those life events that happen, I'll
Mhm.
say to our community, life is going to happen. Things are going to happen. But
But you don't give
you,
up. Keep
right, you may
going.
have gained, but you kept going, right? You
Mhm.
kept going. There might be sometimes the scale, rises, right? The scale reflects those life events, but then
Mhm.
you don't throw in the towel. You just keep going.
Just keep going. Just
Mhm.
keep going. Every day is a new day.
So tell us more about your story. Like, I really want to know more about you. Like, where did you grow up? When did you were you heavy all your life? When did you start gaining weight? What got you to almost 400 pounds? Like, tell us more.
Okay, so I'm a Floridian. I was born in Naples, Florida, which is a small little town close to Miami, Fort Myers
Mhm.
area. And when my parents were married, um, my father was a professional bodybuilder. I should have
Ah.
shared some of those pictures so you could have
Mhm.
known those up. So early on, I knew how to pretty much eat healthy in the right way because I saw it in my house, with my father.
Mhm.
Him always training and training other, collegiate guys at the gym and things like that. So
Mhm.
I saw these things, in the house, growing up in a house where we didn't have sodas. Crystal Light was our soda,
Mhm.
things like that. So I grew up eating the healthy things,
Mhm.
drinking a Crystal Light, eating yogurts,
Mhm.
drinking skim milk. Still to this day, I could drink fat. I drink fat free milk when I
Mhm.
don't do almond milk with no problem. People be like, "Oh, how you drink that?"
Mm.
Well, my
I
daddy
can
runs
do
free milk.
it.
So it's nothing. It tastes good to me. Actually, if I drink whole milk, it bothers me bad. I get sick.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I knew how to eat healthy. I knew how to do the exercise thing because we would go with my dad to the gym sometimes, when, because he was in like part ownership at a Gold's Gym. So
Mhm.
we would go with him to the gym, and things like that. So I knew to do the right thing. So I always kind of was on the heavy side and the big bone side.
Mhm.
Um, and I always was chubby,
Mhm.
but I was always kind of like athletic, so to speak.
Okay,
I was
sure.
always agile, for
Mhm.
my size, but I wasn't, you know, big like this.
Mhm.
And when I had kids, I started to gain weight. And
Okay.
then I would get to a point where I lose, but then I gain, lose, then
Mhm.
I gain. So that's kind of been how my adulthood has been. I've been
Mhm.
up and down, up and down, up and down. Um,
And what did you try? What other things did you try before you got to Wegovy?
Weight Watchers.
Weight
I never
Watchers.
did keto, Atkins, or
Mhm.
anything. I did do Weight Watchers,
Mhm.
and I lost 55 pounds the first year on Weight Watchers,
Mhm.
and I wasn't committed to it. I didn't do it wholeheartedly, 100%. Um, and when I went to do Weight Watchers again before I actually started this, I started thinking, and I kept saying, I really don't need that. I don't need this Weight Watchers thing because I kind of saw some things that I didn't agree with. I
Mhm.
didn't agree with here I am over 300 pounds. I'm working so hard. I lost over 50 pounds and I have to still pay every week. But you have people who come in there, they lose 20 pounds, now they free.
Oh, because they hit
So I
their.
said, where's the incentive?
Mhm.
Where's the incentive for people when they lose 50 pounds?
Oh,
To
that's a good
drop
point. I
the
never
price,
thought about that because
drop the price a little bit. You don't have to
when
make
they,
us free, but
yeah,
just drop the price a little bit.
when they get to their goal weight, then they have to stay within, I think, 2 pounds of the goal weight, and they don't
Right,
pay.
right. But
Uh,
where is the incentive? It should be a tier, for this. And I was
right.
like, we're just making so much money off of us, it just, and then another thing I didn't like was the fact that they promote extra eating.
Mm.
And I didn't like that. I don't want to be rewarded by,
Mhm.
with food
Mhm.
whenever I exercise.
Mm. That's interesting.
So
Okay.
it was like little things like that,
Mhm.
It's still like
Mhm.
to this day with my fitness pal, I track my foods and my exercise, but I don't allow it to accumulate in my total for the day. I let it stay to the bottom where I can just scroll down and look to see how many extra calories you say I can eat extra because I work out, but I don't let them go on my top like some people do. Like for instance, a person, their total is 1,500 calories for the day, but now since they worked out, they can eat an extra 300. So now they eat 1,800. Well, you slowing down your progress.
Progress. That's a good point.
Okay, if you want to do that one day out the week, then do that, but not every day, because there are gonna be days that you're gonna go over. Go over, you may not. So with me, again, I went back and forth with gaining and losing, gaining and losing. And I just got to a point where I said, you know what, I got to really do this for me. So I kind of pushed myself away from a lot of things that I was doing that I felt that could get in the way and hinder me from putting myself first. I, for 10 years, I was a mentor for this program for teenage girls who were either pregnant or had babies. I did that for 10 years, where I had to dedicate 10 hours of my time every month with this team, taking them to events, or, there with them if they needed me to go with them to school or go look at technical schools, different things. But the one goal was for them to not get pregnant again and to graduate from high school or get a GED. That was the two goals that we focus on with this program. And
that's great that you did that. That's great that you did that work.
Yeah.
Those are people who really need a mentor.
Well, I was one of those teens. I had my oldest daughter my senior year in high school. So I walked down that road. I went down the same path that those girls went down. And to be honest with you, I believe that was a lot of the reasons why I gained so much weight, because I had so much pressure and stress on me from wanting to prove the American government wrong. You say when a person have a child at a young age, they'll never be a homeowner. Well, I did that as a single parent. Brought my own home. They'll never graduate, never get a degree. I got all that. Got my degree. I graduated high school on time with more than enough credits. Both of my daughters graduated. My oldest daughter has a college degree. My youngest daughter, she has a business. She does hair. She's a hairstylist. None of them became gang bangers or drug dealers.
They're not statistics. They're not the statistics.
Everything. I focused so much on all that. It had so much pressure and stress on me as a young girl still.
Right, sure.
Trying to prove everybody, I don't need the handouts from the government. Although I could have received the food stamps and this and that, I didn't want it. I wanted to get out there and just get it. So I put so much pressure and stress on me over the years, and I think I was dealing with it with food.
Right.
So I think that was one of the things that I found mentoring kind of helped release some of that. But then it got to the point where I wanted to do some things for myself and stop putting other people first. So I said, I gave it 10 years. Let me go ahead and bike away from that, bike away from being involved in leadership things at the church.
And put that energy and effort into yourself.
Into myself.
And I think the audience needs to hear that too, because so many of us focus on everybody else and we don't care for ourselves as well as we should and could. We put ourselves at the bottom of the list, right? So it's good that you were consciously aware of that and you made those changes. So tell us a little bit about, so now you're over 70 pounds down, right? How's it feel? How are you doing? How are your numbers? How's your health as a result of that?
My numbers are looking good. I feel great. I find myself doing things that, I haven't been able to do in a long time. Just little things, you guys. Non-scale victories are things you need to look at. I did a short one time I put on social media and on here of me standing up and just pulling my socks off. Before I had to sit down to pull them off. Prop my legs up on the side of my bed to pull my socks off. Now I can just prop my leg up and pull my socks off. Just different things, that I'm able to do And I just smile so much now because I'm just like, oh my God, I can't wait till I get to 100 pounds. What am I gonna do then?
And I think people who don't have a lot of weight to lose don't understand that, like that
Mm-hmm.
non-scale victory,
Mm-hmm.
that you can do that, or you can cross your legs, or you can, do things that all the other ladies do that you weren't
Mm-hmm.
you weren't able to because the weight was in the way.
Right, right, right.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, what would you say are some lessons that you learned along the way? Like, what could you tell the audience, like some of the mistakes you made or lessons that you made if they're just starting out on their journey? What advice would you give as somebody who's, on your way to 100 pounds down, right? You're already over 70 pounds.
Okay, so one of the things I can say I learned, lessons that I learned, like I said, I end up gaining a total of 19 pounds throughout the whole year that I had to turn around and lose back. When my husband and I went to St. Lucia for our anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
um, I gained like 6 pounds, and I was being careful with what I was
Mm-hmm.
eating. I even
Mm-hmm.
did intermittent fasting like 2 days while we
Mm-hmm.
were there. And my husband, he always be between 160, 170. Eat whatever he want to eat. I, no, he ain't gaining that much weight.
He'll come back. He'll come back from vacation a pound lighter.
You know, like one morning I say, baby, you go ahead and get breakfast. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm doing intermittent fasting. I'll eat lunch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and go get breakfast.
Right.
So it's just like things like that. I did, and I came back, and it still was 6 pounds heavier in
Mm-hmm.
1 week. So,
Mm-hmm.
I made up my mind. A second time, me and him went to another state for just a few days. Came back up 2 pounds. What am
Mm-hmm.
I doing?
Mm-hmm.
So I made up my mind towards the end of the year when I went to visit my daughter in Atlanta. I said, you know what? This is not going to happen to me. A couple months ago, I went and I brought my sneakers with me, and
Mm-hmm.
I brought two workout outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the gym twice while
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I got up that morning, I went to the gym at her apartment complex, and I worked out.
Mm-hmm.
I even challenged myself on the Stairmaster. I had never been on one before. I
Mm-hmm.
challenged myself while I was there. And I did my intermittent fasting while I was
Mm-hmm.
there. Because when you're away, it's kind of hard to
It's
track
hard.
your foods
Yeah,
because
it's
you
hard.
really know what the people putting in this stuff when you eating because you eat
Mm-hmm.
out, but you can try, a little bit. So I said, I'm just going to do intermittent fasting and I'm going to work
Mm-hmm.
out 2 days while I'm here. And then one of the days I was there, I actually went for a walk.
So how did you do when you came back home? How did you do?
I lost 2.5 pounds.
Okay, okay.
So that's what I want to share. I learned now when I travel
Mm-hmm.
to make sure I'm active.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be hard to track and monitor your food, especially
Right.
when you're active. You make sure you're constantly moving, you should be fine when you get
Mm-hmm.
back. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I learned on this journey, like I said, I spoke about my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I've been married 17 years.
Okay.
And
Congratulations.
thank you,
Mhm.
thank you.
Mhm.
And so, you develop certain lifestyle, over the years, a
Mhm.
lot of things I used to didn't eat, I started eating them once I got married because certain things my
Mhm.
husband liked, certain things he liked for me to cook. And so I just had to have a conversation with him and say, look, it's just not going to be like that anymore. I can't, be eating all those things and eat
Mhm.
this way. So I've been learning how to monitor what I'm eating versus what
Mhm.
he's eating because I can't
Mhm.
take that from him.
Right,
I
right.
still let him eat what he want to eat. And there have been plenty of times where I'll cook something that he really wants, and then I
Mhm.
have to cook something for me.
Right,
So
right.
I've done that. I try to introduce him to some of the things that I eat
Mhm.
that don't always go well.
He's probably like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, so he told me never cook him any more asparagus and never cook him any more Brussels sprouts.
Ah.
I'm like, okay, fine. So I find myself doing that a lot. Um, one of the things that I can actually say I learned on this journey is with dealing with food
Mhm.
is to portion control, separate some of my things from my husband things. Like in
Mhm.
our freezer, I put all his ice creams and stuff at the bottom to the left, and to the right is where I keep like my frozen fruits, my little frozen fruit cup things that I have, my little frozen, they're like yogurt cups or something. I keep my stuff to the top and to the right side, so I'm not having to deal with what he have there, so it won't tempt me, at all.
That's good. That's good. Especially when you're eating different things, and you're trying to stay on track with your own nutrition plan. Okay. Tell us about side effects. Have you had any side effects with Wegovy?
Yes. So all throughout on each dosage, I did not have any side effects until I got to the last
the highest
dosage,
one.
the highest one, which is 2.4. When I got to 2.4 milligrams, the first time I took it, I got nauseated the next day, the next morning. That's because I was doing intermittent fasting. And so I had two of my followers to tell me, Tuan, you got to make sure you get enough protein and water. Well, I knew that wasn't a problem because I know I was eating way more than the allowed protein and I was getting my water in. But one of them said to me that I need to make sure the day after my injection, soon as you get up, eat.
Okay. So you don't feel nauseous.
Don't wait. And I said, okay. So I usually get up and walk at 5:30 in the morning at that time. So I got up that morning and I walked. I didn't eat like she told me right away. I said, I'm just gonna go walk real quick, and then when I walk, I'll come in and I'll eat. I did, and I was fine.
You were fine.
So yeah. So the next week I tried to test it just to see how far I can go. And when about 8:30ish came, I started getting so nauseated, and I said, okay, I can't do this anymore. So I tested it twice just to see. And after that, I just said, I can't play with this medication. I don't want to get sick. So I would make sure by 7:30 I'm eating.
That's good.
The day after.
Have you had any other side effects?
Constipation. I still kind of deal with that. I had resolved that issue. I was not having any constipation for a long time because I had started juicing. My daughter had purchased a juicer for my husband for Christmas, and he started introducing to more vegetables and stuff, thinking maybe if he drank it, he'll get more vegetables and stuff in him because he had became a pre-diabetic. And I started drinking the juices myself, and I started liking it. And I noticed I would really go those juices. So I started doing research. I was like, wow, okay, I like this. But then my doctor told me stop juicing. I don't want to mess with your weight. That was her thing. Okay. And I said, but I'm tracking it. I'm making sure I'm tracking it myself. I'm putting in how much pineapple I'm using, how many apples, how many, this and the other. And then I would still kind of do it every now and then. I kind of slowed up on it. If I would juice, I probably would drink maybe 2 days that week instead of 3 or 4 times that week. I'll just do 2 because I wanted to make sure it wasn't affecting my weight loss. And then just recently I started seeing a nutritionist, and she told me that she wanted for me to get off the juicing and get off the protein shakes.
Oh. And just eat regular fruits.
Regular. She said, I want you to learn to eat regular, eat the food whole, because your body don't look at the protein shakes or the juice as food. Your body breaks down whole foods differently than in juice.
Now tell me, I want to ask you something else about, you mentioned to me before we hopped on here that Wegovy you weren't really feeling the effects of Wegovy right now. Like it wasn't strong enough it wasn't, is it quieting the food noise? Like tell us what it's doing and what you feel like you have to do on your own.
Okay, so from the beginning, I noticed the Wegovy. When I first take it, I noticed it. I noticed that it stops me from eating. I noticed that I started eating like half the portions of what I would normally eat, like right away. But what happened with me was I never got to the point where I didn't have any food noise, like people said. I always craved. That craving, it never left me. I always craved. But what I did do is this one physician, I can't think of his name right now, but did talk about in one of the videos, and I did put the link to his video in the description box.
Mm-hmm.
He advised all his patients to take their injection on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy because I was already doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because he said it takes about 2 days for the medication to really give you its full effect.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take it on Wednesday, by that second day, you already at Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when do people eat the most?
Oh, because the weekend is going out, you're having fun.
Yeah, so it stops you and slows you down on the weekend from consuming a lot of food.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of happy about that. And I noticed it, like, even to this day, when I take my injection on Wednesday, on Thursday, it slows me down. Friday, it really slows me down. Saturday, it really slows me down. Sunday, it slows me down. I usually eat like one meal on Sunday. But when Monday and Tuesday come, I be hungry.
You're hungry again.
It ain't working.
And that's the half-life, right? So it starts to wear off.
It starts to wear off.
So, but tell me about the fact that you feel like you're doing it on your own. Like you feel like right now.
So I believe around towards the end of last year, around September, I believe, my doctor started talking to me about Zepbound. She said because she noticed that my weight loss had started to slow down, in which I had noticed it too. And she told me that I was working out too much, and that the Wegovy is really not working for me. The reason why I'm losing the weight I'm losing is because of all the hard work that I'm putting in. So let me just tell you, I was walking 4 miles every morning, Monday through Friday, without a problem, and then sometimes on Saturday. So I was walking 4 miles, 5 to 6 days a week. Then I was going to a boot camp like 3 days a week.
Oh, wow.
You know, for 45 minutes working out. Until I injured myself. And when I injured myself, the sports medicine doctor said, cut it. You're too old for boot camp. Like, that's not for them. That's for them spring, spring chicken. That's for them younger ones, So I cut it out and I started going to a gym. So I started going to the gym 3 days a week. And she said, you working out too much. So she asked me, can she look at my finally one visit, she asked me, can she look at my Fitness Pal so she can see what I'm eating? Because I told her that I feel like now that I'm lifting weights, I'm getting real hungry more than just the money.
I found that too when I started lifting weights. That I had more of an appetite.
Right. So here is the thing: at 394.4 pounds, my doctor right away told me 1,500 calories is what she wanted me to eat. So my coworker that I told you about was only like maybe 190 pounds when she started. Well, you told her 150. So why did you tell a 394 pounds, 150 a day, and then you told this person who's only 180, 1,500 a day? And my Fitness Pal said I should have been eating like 2,300 a day or something like that. So why did you cut it drastically?
Oh, yeah.
And I think she did that because she was trying to train my mind to help me get to that point. Some people don't do it right away.
So you're saying you're on 1,500 calories a day, and your friend who was only weighed like 190 pounds, she was on 1,500 calories a day.
Same position. So like, why did she do that? I thought she wanted me to eat a little bit more, but I guess, I don't know. She told me that her reasoning for putting everybody on 1,500 calorie is because if you don't lose a certain amount of weight, then your insurance company will stop you from getting the medication.
They need to see the progress you're making.
They need to see the progress.
Okay. So tell us more about I know, and when you first started your channel, you were talking about, moving into your home and decorating your home and all that. But now you're sharing your life, traces of Twaun's life on your channel. You're sharing that around this weight loss journey. So how is your weight loss journey videos different? How are they unique? Like, what would you say is kind of the flavor, of your channel and why people should come check it out?
Well, like I said, I'm showing different traces of my life. I
Mm-hmm.
take you with me when I go out to eat, so you can see that I eat real food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not around here eating carrots and cucumber sandwiches. I allow myself to eat real food as long as I'm staying within that calorie count,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for that day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing people that it's okay to go and do things for yourself, take mental
Mm-hmm.
health days, go to the mall, go shopping,
Mm-hmm.
different things. I'm taking them with me, showing them that, the more you start to lose weight, you want to feel better, not just the inside, but on the outside. You want to beautify yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you want to make yourself look pretty. So I took them with me just recently when I went to Sephora to go buy some
Mm-hmm.
new lipstick, things
Mm-hmm.
like that, some earrings,
Mm-hmm.
girly stuff, just showing
Mm-hmm.
them, when I got to a certain weight and my undies were falling off me, I took them with me when I went to go purchase new undies. And so as I dropped the pounds, I ordered clothes online from like places like Fashion Nova and Shein,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to show people, hey, we gotta keep it cute, too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't walk around with baggy clothes on, too
Mm-hmm.
baggy.
Right.
I had some pants that you can look and you see all this bagginess back here, just
Mm-hmm.
don't look right. You want to still present yourself well, in places like Fashion Nova, Temu, places like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty cheap. It's just like you're
Mm-hmm.
going to a Goodwill or something. So why not
Mm-hmm.
buy you something where you can, if you can afford to, if you can't afford it, then
Mm-hmm.
just go to a Goodwill or a Salvation Army or somewhere, to get you some things. But just don't walk around with these big old baggy clothes on that make you look slouchy looking. You
Yeah.
want to present yourself, because when you look
Right.
at yourself, if you look good, it makes you feel good.
That's true. That's true. That's true. And so, again, one of our subscribers told me about your channel. She's like, you got to check her out. She's so good and positive and uplifting, and she's like pure sunshine, just pure sunshine on your channel. And I want to ask you, because I know you're a woman of faith. I want to ask you what role faith plays in your weight loss journey.
Well, this is a ministry for me. Doing this YouTube channel.
Mm,
There have been some ideas and some things that that come into my mind, and I kind of jot some things down. But I didn't want to try to use this as a way to make money. I wanted to use it as a way to give it back, because I feel that when God bless you, He bless you to be a blessing to other people.
mhm, mhm,
And I look at it as, oftentimes when we start, things, we want the support of our close friends and
mhm,
our families, but God has shown me that I can't sit around and wait on my family and my close friends to cheer me on, that I gotta just step
mhm,
up and just go out here and just do it, have
mhm,
faith. And I've done that.
mhm,
And by me stepping out on faith, being transparent, showing
mhm.
everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some of my
Yeah.
followers told me that they love my channel because I wasn't afraid to show me getting on the scale. I wasn't afraid to
Mhm,
show them I was 394 pounds.
mhm.
They say, "Oh, I lost 2 pounds this week." Well, where's the proof?
Right, right,
People
right.
want to see it. I
Right.
stand up and show them the big old belly,
Mhm,
the
mhm,
big sagging arms. I show
mhm,
all that. God
mhm,
told me to be transparent. This is my ministry.
mhm,
And that's what I've done. And I also share, with everybody, and let them know you're just not supporting me,
mhm,
in the way you think you are.
mhm.
You all are my accountability partners.
Right, right.
I tell them
Mhm,
all the time, y'all my accountability partners.
mhm,
Y'all helping me just as much as I'm helping you all.
mhm,
There's some things that I can learn from you. And I have. I've
mhm.
learned a lot from my own followers.
Mhm.
I really
And,
have.
and I really want to honor you for having the courage to start your YouTube channel and be vulnerable, because talking about our weight is not always easy, right? And when I was close to 300 pounds, you're close to 400 pounds, right? Going on this journey and showing them your arms. Like, I hate my arms, I'll cover them up, cover up my leg. Like, I'm always covered up, right? Because of my weight. And the fact that you take your viewers on a journey with you, right? You go into the store, they're going with you, right? And you show them the good, bad, and ugly, so that they know that that's real. They know that it's not all, every week is not a 5 pound loss on the scale, right?
Right.
Some weeks there's a gain. So
And I show them that.
yes,
I let them know what
I
happened.
really want to honor you for that, because you have over 9,000 subscribers. People are watching you, right? People are watching you. Excuse me. And you're impacting the lives of so many people. Like your reach is global, and you're impacting the lives of so many people. And I want to just honor you for that, because I know in my community, I know that there are people out there watching us saying to themselves, I've always wanted to start my own YouTube channel. Like, I always wanted to put my story out there. One of the clients that I have right now said, why did you want to, have your YouTube channel? And she said, because I knew I was sitting on my story. I was sitting on my story, a story that could help somebody else, that could encourage somebody else. But I was uncomfortable going on camera, right? I was uncomfortable putting my business out there. What if somebody who knows me is listening to my story, right? So, and she eventually overcame that. She overcame that and said, like, the impact that I can make is greater than the fear that I have, right? And so she went out there. So I want to honor you for doing that, because we need more people out there talking about their experiences around this, for the people who are afraid of the injection, for the people who need to be inspired, for the people who maybe everybody they hear is losing weight every week, but they're not. For the people who say, I hear that this medication helps with food noise, but it's not helping me. I still have cravings, right? Because everybody's journey is different, right? So I think it's great that you're doing that. And you and I talked about how you could have, there's so many people on YouTube right now, and maybe they're talking about the same thing that we're talking about, but we're all different. Right? We're all different. And so, we can subscribe to 10 different people's channels, right? It doesn't take anything away from anybody.
Right.
You could be a follower of Traces of Twaun's life, and you could be a follower of Zepbound with Ange, right? And you get a different experience when you come to both of us, right? So I love that. And I want to honor you for taking people on the journey, because you're impacting lives. And one of the things that I know for sure is that you are encouraging and inspiring people who you'll never meet. You'll never know. They're watching. They may never comment, but you're changing their life. You're changing their life with the work that you're doing. And I believe you when you say it's your ministry. I believe.
Yeah, it's my ministry. I don't share. I've never shared this before, but I am a licensed missionary. I don't talk about it, because this is not what God wanted me to do. People always think when you're an evangelist, you're a missionary, you're a minister, you got to get in the four walls of a church and stand behind a pulpit and preach to people. Well, God didn't tell me to come on YouTube to save people's life, to bring them to Christ in that way, So I just come on here and I just talk, because I feel like, hey, when I talk to you, you'll see the presence of the Lord in me.
And yeah, that is so right. That is so right, because that's the light. That's the light that people say they see.
My light is already shining.
That's the light that they see, right? And I love that, because
let him draw you through me, not me.
Yes, but I love that, because as a missionary, the reach you have on YouTube is amazing, right? Like I haven't looked at your numbers recently, but I know with us, our reach is over 100 and something thousand people have viewed our channel, right? So just think about from all over the world, that you can impact more people in a day, a week, a month, a year on a platform like this than you can if you flew as a missionary. You went to South Africa and Ghana and all these different places. You're limited by the people who are there versus the people who can be anywhere in the world and hear your message.
Right. And I don't come on here to preach to people. I don't do that. I want to help you in your health. Everybody ministry is totally different. I'm going to be honest with you. There's 2 young pastors, that I know One of them, both of them had a stroke. One passed away, the other one didn't. Just recently, just last week. You know, people get behind the pulpit and they want to preach, but they're not taking care of their bodies.
Yeah.
You got to be if you're going to be the temple of God that's going to be used, you got to make sure your vessel is right. You know, on the inside before you can get out there doing all this trying to save yourself, clean your life up, as well as clean your body, your health. You know, that type of thing. So. And I'm not on here trying to preach to people because everybody have different ethnic backgrounds. Everybody have different religions. I don't want someone who a different religion than I am to be uncomfortable with coming to my channel. So I'm not going to be God, them, and Jesus is them. I'm not going to do that. Like I say, they'll see God through me.
They'll see it in you, right? They'll see it in you.
You know, right? Now, don't get me wrong, Angie. There's several videos where I pray. You know, if the Lord said I need to pray, daughter, then I pray. I've done that. You know, I felt the need to say a prayer, you know, at the end of some of my videos, and I've done that. And I'll tell them, you know, I'm going to pray right now. You know, if you want to go ahead and leave, it's okay. You know, if you want to stay here with me, you know, while I pray, you know, I welcome that. You know, I give them the opportunity. I'm not just going to start praying in the middle and then people feel like they got to log off because they don't want to hear it.
Right, you know? Right. Yep, I think that's great.
Because I don't want to run people away thinking I'm trying to draw them to, you know, my religion or, you know, my God, you know, because everybody look at it differently, you know, that type of thing.
But people will see the light in you and be drawn to that anyway.
They will see it.
All right. So any final words? I mean, first of all, I want to say thank you for agreeing to come here and share your story with us. Because, you know, I'm excited about one day being 70 pounds down, right? And it's nice to hear someone who's done it, right? And some of the highs and lows and challenges that you've had. What final words would you like to share with the audience? Is there anything you want to
yeah, so one of the final words I would like to share is, you know, your journey doesn't have to look like Angie's. I'm sorry, Angela. Your journey don't have to look like
You can call me Ange. It's okay. You can call me Ange.
Your journey doesn't have to look like our journey. Your journey is your journey. Okay? Don't let people make you feel bad, you know, if you're not at a certain weight, you know, by the time they think you should be there. Because everybody's body is different. Medication affects everybody totally different. You know, just go at it slow and steady, you know, at a realistic goal, and whatever happens on that scale, do not let it get you off course at all. You know, you want to stay on course and just look at it. Well, I had one bad day. That's okay. Dust yourself off and, you know, start over. That's one of the things I would like to leave with you, because you're going to have those moments where you feel like giving up. You feel like I'm a failure. I failed at this because I went on vacation and gained 10 pounds. Don't. It's life, one vacation. You know, what vacations are for? To have fun. So enjoy yourself, you know. Look at it as a journey, a lifestyle, and not a diet. When people comment on my channel, they say diet. I say, who's on a diet? Because I'm not on a diet. I'm on a lifestyle journey. It's something I want to do. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm still losing it slow and steady. There have been people who have started this journey and started YouTube channels the same time I have. They're not even here anymore. They haven't posted a video in 6 months to a year at all. So just stay on the course. That's all I'm saying. If you're on this journey, stay on the course. Don't try to compete with anyone at all. It's gonna be sometimes you're not gonna get lose weight. It's gonna be sometimes you're gonna gain, but don't give up. Just keep moving forward.
Thank you for that. And yes, we're all different. All of our journeys are different. I wish I could get the weight off in like a month, right? But I know it takes time. It takes time, and we'll get there. We'll get there. I do want to make a couple announcements before we close. First of all, you need to follow her channel. Some of you are probably already subscribers to her channel, but I want you to go over to YouTube. You go to YouTube for Traces of Twaun's Life. If you type in Traces of Twaun's Life, you will find her channel and you'll get to follow her. Her videos are great. You will have fun watching her videos, and they will encourage you. So please, and put in the chat that Ange sent you. Put in the chat that Ange sent you when you go over there, so she knows. And we want to give her some love and support on her channel too. And I know she's working on something. She's cooking something up that's kind of going to be available to you guys soon. I know if you want me to let the cat out of the bag or we'll just keep it like that, but she is going to have something really special. So you want to follow her and stay tuned to what she's creating for her audience. So I won't. Do you want to add anything else to that?
No, that's about it. If they want to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, same name, Trace of Twaun's Life.
Oh, you're on all the platforms then. Okay. So yeah, follow her on those platforms too. If you guys are on those platforms, that would be fantastic. And just a couple announcements. I want to make sure that everybody knows that we're still open for the retreat. So for those of you who want to come to our retreat, it's July the 20th. It's a 1-day retreat based on what you guys told us you wanted, the feedback you told us you wanted. And it's just opportunity to get us all in the same room together, to fellowship together, to let our hair down and just be in person versus virtual. So that's still available. So if you're interested, I will add to the show notes a way that you can register for that. And it's going to be an intimate group, small group, not a massive group of people. And it's going to be very, very nice. And then the other thing I wanted to mention to you, and I know it's not for everybody, I always say it's not for everybody, but for those of you who are courageous like Twaun and you want to have your own YouTube channel, we have a program that we're putting together. It's called Be Brilliant on YouTube. Be Brilliant on YouTube. And we're walking you through the whole process to get your channel up and going. We were able to monetize our channel in 45 days. And I took notes of everything that worked and things that didn't work and put it into the program. So I'm walking, some of you are already in the program. You're in the beta. If you're interested in the beta closes this week. The beta closed this week and it'll be the lowest price it ever will be. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email at Angela@BeBrilliantMovement.com. That's Angela@BeBrilliantMovement.com. Just send me an email and leave your phone number and then I'll connect with you. So those are the two things I want you to know about the retreat. And then if you want to do your own YouTube site, and I highly recommend it because I know all of you have stories that can impact people. And I love that Twaun was courageous enough to go at it. Like she's just up and sharing everything, taking you on a complete journey. And I know you have something to offer too. So if that's something you're interested in, just contact me and we'll take care of you. And with that, don't forget to subscribe to Twaun's channel, Traces of Twaun's Life. Traces of Twaun's Life. You said you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, and you're on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. All of those places you can find her. And I want to close out by saying, again, thank you so much for coming and being on our show, on our YouTube channel.
You're welcome.
We love our guests. We love our guests. And I celebrate you for your weight loss because I know that being a woman that's almost 400 pounds is not easy. It's not easy. That the struggle for you to get from where you were to where you are now is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. I saw you jumping rope. I saw you in the gym lifting weights. Like you took us on that journey, and and not giving up hope. Right? Because there's some people only have like 50 pounds to lose, right? You had, over 100, you have on over 100 pounds to lose.
Right.
And you're just knocking it off little by little. And I think your story is very encouraging. And I know it's going to touch the hearts of so many people who are watching and people who may be 300, 400 pounds and trying to get the weight off. Right. And people who do only have 50 pounds to lose and they're like, if she can do it, right. And she keeps going and she's being transparent and vulnerable with us, that we can do it too. So I want to thank you for
You're welcome.
for what you do. Like, you represent what we talk about here in our channel, right? And what I always tell our audience is I want them to be bold, because it takes boldness to stand up and to do what you do, to show people the real deal, good, bad, and ugly. It takes boldness to do that. I celebrate you because you're brave, right? You're courageous. You're in the arena, right? You're in the arena fighting where other people are watching. You're out there in center court fighting this fight. And I think you're really courageous, and that inspires other people to be courageous too. And you're brilliant, right? You're brilliant because you're showing up and you're shining your light, and because you're doing that, you're inspiring other people to do the same thing, right? To do the same thing, for them to take a step forward, right? And so for that, I really want to honor you and your work, and make sure everybody follows you and shows you love on your channel. And with that, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to tell everybody, be bold, be brave, be brilliant. Take care. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much, Tuan. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.
Bye.